Choose this mindset to supersize you. Supersize You Annual Challenge, day 128 here, Sharon Horne-Ellstrom. And today we're going to talk about a growth mindset versus a fixed mindset. Now, I know I have a graphic for that. I forgot to grab it out. But basically, a fixed mindset says things like, it's just the way I am. I am blank a certain way that isn't necessarily positive or in our best interest. We say it repeatedly, maybe not out loud, but in our head. We're also going to talk today, and I just put my magnifying glass away, about the S in our SOAP framework. I was trying to think about, well, what do I want my challenge area with respect to mental health and well-being to be? And maybe it's, I'm going to eliminate not good enough or not imposter syndrome. Somebody asked me if I had imposter syndrome yesterday, and I was like, yeah, I don't think so. I just be me. But I probably do, because whenever we're comparing ourselves to other people, that's a form of imposter syndrome. Well, why is it so easy for them but so hard for me? That's an interesting way of thinking, but if it doesn't serve us, we want to change it. So I think I'm going to do maybe negative, that's too broad, negative thinking or something, but I'm going to say anything fixed that I think is just the way I am and that I can't change it. There's no such thing as can't. I can absolutely positively change it, and so can you. But the difference between the fixed mindset and the growth mindset is a fixed mindset keeps us stuck. It's why we stay in our comfort zone and we never veer out of that. It's why we judge and decide that certain people or certain things are or are not for us, which is what we do for self-preservation, right? We want to keep ourselves safe, but we also want to keep an open mind so we can learn and grow. A growth mindset is exactly that, is it allows us to grow and be a better version of ourselves, which, you know, personally, that's what my purpose is. And I hope your purpose is too, is just to be the best possible version of yourself. I chased purpose for probably 2 or 3 decades. I'm like, why don't I know what my purpose is? Why don't I have an overarching, strong passion and purpose about something? Why am I not awesome at something that just indicates to me the direction my life should go? And I used to feel bad about that. And I'm like, why would I waste any energy feeling bad about just who I am and how I show up in the world? Silly. It's what happens when you surround yourself with the wrong people, people that are not right for you. So today, do you have, and comment in the comments below, a fixed, mostly fixed or mostly growth mindset? I contend that as human beings, we are all multifaceted, and there's elements of both in every single one of us. It's based on what you experienced growing up. If you were rewarded for doing well and learning and growing and trying new things, you probably have more of a growth mindset than if you were put in a little box. Children should be seen and not heard. That's not a very good box. Children should be seen and not heard. You probably have more of a fixed mindset and are more rule oriented. I am a acclaimed rule breaker, or I make my own rules. I think I'll put it that way, because I have guidelines and rules and things that I do that help me move my life forward. But I also know that I don't just blindly follow what people in authority say, because guess what? They're human beings too, and they might not be right. Look at the news on any given day, and you'll see so many examples of absolutely pathetic, evil, vile lack of leadership, even though they're supposedly in leadership positions. And I'm sure we've all experienced this in our careers, our work lives, even in our homes. We might have a dysfunctional little bit of stuff going on. So a fixed mindset limits our growth and keeps us stuck and keeps us small, which is kind of what the world's designed for, right? Keeping us small, keeping us thinking that we can only do so much and we have to depend on other things outside of us to let us know if we're going in the right direction or not. And a growth mindset unlocks potential. It allows us to do, be, and have whatever it is that we want. Excuse me. The older I get, the more I realize that age doesn't matter when it comes to choosing how we want to look at the world and the point of view we want to have and the identity we want to have for ourselves. It is totally up to us, and that's a huge responsibility that, frankly, most people don't want to take on. Most people do not want to be responsible for themselves. I'm not saying that in a judgmental way. I'm saying that as an observer of the planet, most people don't want to make decisions, don't want to think for themselves. And guess what? There are a few people that will do that for you, but they will never have your best interests at heart like you do. The only person that's going to actually take care of you is you. And if you give up your personal power and you let other people and other things and other situations think for you, you will learn to live with the consequences. You might not like them, but you will have to deal with them along the way. It's kind of harsh, but it's true. Until we take personal responsibility for everything, especially everything in our life, we don't stand a chance. Or we do, but we're just going through whatever happens to come down the pipe toward us in our lifetime then. Today we're going to identify one area where we still have a fixed mindset. I guarantee there are many areas I still have a fixed mindset. In the areas of what I think I am or am not capable of, the truth is we all have infinite potential. And so if I'm ever thinking, I don't deserve to do that, I'm not good enough, what makes me think I can do that? Those are all fixed bullshit mindset things that I will be addressing. And I think that might be my emphasis for the S in our SOAP framework. Let's talk about that quickly. And then we'll come back around to, excuse me, what our action item is today after I have a drink of coffee. The whole family has been fighting this cold like for 2 months. It's just insane. Must be a new strain of something. So the S in our SOAP framework stands for story. And we want to identify what is our current story. What's going on right now with this area of mental health and well-being that we want to address. Mine is going to be not good enough. I'm going to pick not good enough because not good enough is definitely a fixed mindset. Even though I flow around it and push it all the time, it still rears its ugly head on too great a frequency, in my opinion. So that's going to be mine. So what's my current story? I'm going to tell my current story about all the situations where I think I'm not good enough, or I have had that thought instantly pop into my head, which is like almost a daily occurrence. And then what do I want my story to be? So I want to identify my current story with a couple of sentences and my desired story with a couple of sentences. Because we're going to take us from where we are right now to where we want to be in 4 simple steps, starting with identifying what is and what we want it to be. This applies to so many things in our life and it's so easy to do, yet most people don't have a process for making decisions and choosing among alternatives and dealing with challenging situations that come up. And so I like to offer this framework as one that you can use or create your own, tweak and create your own. I think it's extremely powerful to learn something and then find how it applies to you and then find ways to make it your own and then use it in your life on a regular basis. And maybe you'll just take the SOAP framework and you'll stuff it down in your subconscious and you won't need it for a while. But when you do need it, guess what? It will pop up into your consciousness and you'll be able to apply it to the situation and get much better results than if you just ignored the situation or just, let it happen by default, which is the same thing as ignoring. Or if you actually took action on it, this allows you ways to make sure you're taking the best action, the best next step right now. All right, so that'll be part of our homework, of course, or our action item. Our second part is identify one area. It's a little self-awareness today. We're going to check in with ourselves as we go about our day. I guarantee somewhere a fixed mindset thought will pop into your head. I can absolutely positively 100% guarantee that for if you're a human and alive, something will pop into your head that is not exactly growth oriented, right? We all have those thoughts. And we're going to write that down and then we're going to think about what would be a better way of looking at this thought. What would be a better thought to replace this with instead of the crazy stinking thinking that I'm having all around it? I'll give you an example. This morning, I already realized I've done this. This morning, I was brushing my teeth, and normally when I brush my teeth, I do affirmations. And all of a sudden, my mind went down some rabbit hole about a situation that isn't even my situation, that I have no control over, but I have strong emotional feelings about it. And I'm like, I'm getting to the end of brushing my teeth, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I just wasted all of this positive energy time on something that doesn't even apply to me. That is an example of stuck energy, stuck stinking thinking that I don't want to experience as much as humanly possible. I want to get rid of that. So there's a real life example. So ask yourself today, what do I tell myself I am? I am this, I am that, I am capable of this, I'm not capable of do this. This is easy for everybody else, it's hard for me, things like that. What are some of those things that you're saying to yourself? Share one in the comments below. And then what's an alternative way of looking at it? What's a way you're going to choose to look at it instead? In our family, it's chaos, right? Okay, let's just admit and call it what it is. My family situation is pretty much chaos, and I'm sure I'm a major contributor to that. But we could be frustrated that it's chaos, or we could just take a deep breath, see what it is, ask ourselves, what do I do next? And then embrace the chaos, because pretty soon we'll add systems and structures and things to make it less and less chaotic feeling. And you know what? A lot of times it isn't as chaotic as it used to be, but every once in a while, everything blows up and chaos ensues, which is actually kind of fun when you look back, step back. We can step back without being emotionally attached to it and watch a situation. You're just like, oh my God, did that just happen? I love that. I think it makes life exciting and fun. All right, that's it. That's all I've got for you today. If I can help you in any way, all you have to do is ask. Just reach out, message me, text me, however you choose to get a hold of me. I am right here in plain sight, and I'm willing to help, especially with respect to the challenge and any questions, because I know how powerful it is if you can just do one little thing every day to create the life you want. Let's go. Bye. Have a great day.